city of Compton is one of the oldest cities in what is known as the South Bay here in California that started out as a farm community, that one of the later communities that actually started around the same time as the city of Pasadena, that incorporated to be the city that it is today. There is some history that states that Compton was an oil town. We have been primarily focused on major infrastructure aspects of increasing the appearance of our city. In conjunction with that, my council has set goals that gives priority to youth and seniors. So we have been about making major infrastructure improvements, at the same time increasing programming for youth and seniors throughout the city of Compton.
For me, Compton is home. I grew up here. I have family who are from here. And I have friends that I have long-standing relationships with. And I also work here. So it's like working at home. I basically manage most public works engineering projects. I've been doing this for approximately over 20 years, and I manage both street, sewer, and other infrastructure projects. And it's very important to me because we want to give back to our community and we want to make sure that people have a great place to both live, work, and play.
One of the things that's a major problem, not only here within the city of Compton, but within the state of California, is street takeovers, which street takeovers have a major negative impact on the community. And it's also from a safety perspective because people do get injured, hurt, and killed. And as we've embarked upon some major infrastructure projects here within our city, one of the things that we've been able to do is place down what we call calming devices. And these calming devices have been really critical in hindering the ability for street takeovers to take place at our major intersections. But our global focus on infrastructure has us doing a lot of street improvements, bridge repair, replacement, and we're going to continue to focus on that because obviously the conditions of our infrastructure, the safe it is for our citizens and people passing through our city.
The Artesia Bridge project was a project that stemmed from a fire that took place in December of 2020. There was 2 spans of the bridge that were damaged, and the bridge had to be closed down for approximately 4 years. We engaged the services of consultants and engineering firms to design the project to replace those 2 spans that were damaged as a result of the fire, spending over $12 million of investments that we received from both local, state, and federal funding.
My mayor and council made it a priority that we focus on our youth and our seniors. And in the process of focusing on our youth, one of the things that we've been able to do is basically rehab all of our city parks. It has had a very profound impact on our overall parks in terms of their appearance, and the children love it. Wilson Park is one of our most focal parks here in the city because it has everything. We have new playground equipment there, we have a skate park there, we have new basketball court there, and I think what makes it such a focal point in our city is that we have a mural of the late Kobe Bryant and his daughter, and it is also the ending point of our Christmas parade where we do a huge celebration at the end of that parade at Wilson Park.
Some of the grants that we're securing for the city of Compton is our Caltrans Cleanup and Community Pathway, U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, CDBG and Home Funds, Housing Rehab Program, where we go in and repair homes, bring them up to housing quality standards for sustainability. Our Meals on Wheels program, where the city provides nutritious meals for seniors in our community. So those are some of the grants that we administered through the city. Here, I was born and raised here. Our local parks I played in. I played in our summer basketball, football, all the sports I did. I even went to school here, elementary and junior high. So I'm very passionate about the city and want to give back as much as I possibly can.
What I would love to see for the future of Compton, because Compton and the citizens or former citizens of Compton has had such a profound impact on the world, that I would love to see there be something that makes Compton a destination, that people want to come to Compton to really absorb that history. Because, the world today know the Venus and Serena, they know the Kendrick Lamar, but that list has so much bench. The Dr. Dre's of the world, the Eazy-E's of the world, and it continues that there are so many people that not only from a hip-hop perspective, from a sports perspective, every walk of life, there is an infamous person from the city of Compton. City of Compton is one of the oldest cities in what is known as the South Bay here in California that started out as a farm community, that one of the later communities that actually started around the same time as the city of Pasadena, that incorporated to be the city that it is today. There is some history that states that Compton was an oil town. We have been primarily focused on major infrastructure aspects of increasing the appearance of our city. In conjunction with that, my council has set goals that gives priority to youth and seniors. So we have been about making major infrastructure improvements, at the same time increasing programming for youth and seniors throughout the city of Compton.
For me, Compton is home. I grew up here. I have family who are from here. And I have friends that I have long-standing relationships with. And I also work here. So it's like working at home. I basically manage most public works engineering projects. I've been doing this for approximately over 20 years, and I manage both street, sewer, and other infrastructure projects. And it's very important to me because we want to give back to our community, and we want to make sure that people have a great place to both live, work, and play.
One of the things that's a major problem, not only here within the city of Compton, but within the state of California, is street takeovers, which street takeovers have a major negative impact on the community. And it's also from a safety perspective because people do get injured, hurt, and killed. And as we've embarked upon some major infrastructure projects here within our city, one of the things that we've been able to do is place down what we call calming devices. And these calming devices have been really critical in hindering the ability for street takeovers to take place at our major intersections. But our global focus on infrastructure has us doing a lot of street improvements, bridge repair, replacement, and we're going to continue to focus on that because obviously the conditions of our infrastructure, the safe it is for our citizens and people passing through our city.
The Artesia Bridge project was a project that stemmed from a fire that took place in December of 2020. There was 2 spans of the bridge that were damaged, and the bridge had to be closed down for approximately 4 years. We engaged the services of consultants and engineering firms to design the project to replace those 2.
Too much. I'll talk to you. Good evening. It is now 4:35 p.m. and now it's the for the Compton. It is time for the Compton City Council workshop at 4:30 on unfunded accrued liability of the post-employment benefit taxes. Mr. City Manager, who will be making this presentation.
Good afternoon, Madam Mayor and Council. The presenter is coming forward. And just as a reminder, this was a request from some time ago that we would do this workshop for the edification of the community to kind of have them understand the city's position in terms of our pension UAL. So with that.
Mr. City Manager, the mayor would like to do a roll call.
Okay.
Yep. Thank you.
Councilmember Duhart?
Here.
Councilmember Spicer?
Here.
Councilmember Bowers?
Here.
Councilmember Darden?
Here.
Mayor Sharif? You
Here.
have a quorum at 4:36 p.m.
You may continue. You may continue.
Very good. Mayor and members of the City Council, my name is Dan Matuszewicz. I work for a firm that helps model how your unfunded liability behaves under different conditions. A staff proposal was brought to me to pay down some of your obligation that accrues at a rate of 6.8% per year. And we'll kind of go over I guess, the relationship in general. So you are a part of you're a member agency of CalPERS, which provides pension administration and investment services for it's probably about 1,500 different local agencies in California. And it's one of the largest public pension plans in the world. So you have a promise to pay a pension to employees, and that promise results in, obviously, an obligation at retirement. And that calculation uses a lot of assumptions, actuaries involved to determine how long people are going to work, what their pay raises are, when they're going to retire, when they're going to expire, et cetera. But there really isn't anything that moves the needle more than the money that's in the system that offsets that expected obligation to the employees. And so what's baked into the amount that you pay CalPERS is the presumption that you will earn 6.8%, or they will. And so when there is a shortfall, or perhaps an individual lives longer than expected, anytime one of their assumptions falls short of actual, an unfunded liability is created. And at that point, CalPERS then says, well, essentially you have undercontributed because our assumption didn't hold true. And so they send you a bill for that unfunded liability that accrues interest at 6.8% per year. Does that make sense? Are there any questions right there? So that unfunded liability is really the gap between what you should have in the bank to fulfill those promises and what's actually in there. And CalPERS makes that measurement each year and recalculates based on trends, over time, cities have found that that unfunded liability has grown to an uncomfortable number. Sometimes that payment ends up expanding to be a significant part of the entity's budget. So managing how much is outstanding goes part and parcel with providing this benefit, is managing, making sure that unfunded liability doesn't get out of control. It's kind of like a home equity line of credit, if you will. It's like it's okay to borrow against your house, but if you start living off of that home equity line of credit, then you could see how that becomes kind of problematic. So keeping it in check is important. Right now, you have 3 plans: a miscellaneous plan, fire, and police. In total, the unfunded component that CalPERS is sending you an extra bill for is $152 million. If you were to just make the mortgage payments, if you will, that $150 million would cost you $230 million by just making the annual payments each year. So what's being proposed by staff is that you pay off a significant portion of the miscellaneous unfunded liability. So we're looking at a unfunded liability of $75 million, and that it's consistent with what the audit recommendation was from the California auditors, is to pay off some of that pension liability, put it in trust. CalPERS is a pension trust, They also made a recommendation you could pay off some of your liability on your health retirement plan. But you can see that, oh gosh, I can't read those numbers. But you can, it really goes back to that same graph. You can either choose to pay 75 million, million now, or pay that larger amount, which represents the interest on that unfunded liability. So it's a choice: pay now, pay more now, or pay more later. So it's discretionary, and so the council, the staff had recommended perhaps paying 90% of the miscellaneous plan's unfunded liability. So when we look at that balance if it were 100%, by the beginning of next fiscal year is $75.6 million. And if you waited to June 30th to pay that off, that would grow to, that just by making your mortgage payment between those two dates, 6/30/24 and 26, that balance has come down to 75 million. If you paid 90% of that, that would represent about 68 million a year. If you paid it slightly ahead of time, before it's due, then that payment comes down to that $65 million. So I use, for sake of discussion, 12/31/25, and that's $68 million. In order to pay that off or pay that down, that would roughly equivalent to about a $65 million payment. And that interest savings would be about $42.7 million. And ultimately, there is a concurrent, the city has a pension tax and a levy where the unfunded liability is one component of that levy. By paying $65 million, you would reduce the required payment to PERS by $7.2 million. If, as I understand it, your levy last year was about $35 million, by reducing it, $7.2 million would represent a 20% reduction, potential reduction to the levy. And that is what staff is proposing. Do you have any questions for me about the mechanics of how this would work, or the numbers?
Are there any questions from the council?
I have a question. Have you talked to the the city treasurer about how much money is in this account?
My understanding from staff, but not the city treasurer, is there's in excess of 100 million in that fund.
I have a question as it relates to, well, obviously if we pay this cost now, we're going to save significant savings here. But how else would this benefit the residents of Compton? In what other ways?
Well, there's two that I can think of. In the long run, well, in the immediate term, the city would be able to reduce the levy, the pension tax levy. And typically, we like to see agencies pre-fund their obligation as it's accrued. So as employees work a year of service, they accrue an additional year of service credit. that has an obligation. And if you pay that when they're age concurrently with the service, that the investment earnings offset the cost of that benefit 50 to 60% over time. So rather than holding on to the funds where, you know, your government code sections really restrict, government code sections 53601 allows the city to only invest in very short-term instruments. You're not going to get anywhere near 6.8%. So holding on to the money is something that you would look at if you needed the liquidity, but ultimately that difference between what if you're holding it and earning maybe 3%, and it's accruing interest at 6.8%, then on a long-term basis, you're accruing a lot more interest. So that 7 point, maybe I'm not answering that question efficiently, but I guess another way to look at it is that 7.2 million that would otherwise go to CalPERS in payment could be redeployed to some other community benefit, whether that is whatever that is, whether that's paying additional wages to employees, whether it's another project. That would be up to the council to decide how that 7.2 is deployed each year.
I guess my question is, and thank you for that, I do appreciate that, but my question is, would it reduce the property taxes that our residents are paying?
So that would depend on staff taking action. So the portion of the property taxes that represent the pension levy should be reduced by that $7.2 million.
Should be reduced.
Well, so making the payment to PERS will reduce your payment. Step 2 is when you prepare the levy in July, would be to reduce that levy in lockstep with that reduction in obligation.
Okay. That's my question. Thank you.
Dan, if I may, Madam Mayor and Council, when we initially embarked upon this, looking at that number, our calculations at the time was on average, the average citizen should see approximately a $200 reduction is what we had calculated at that time on their pension tax on their tax bill. And that would reset and then gradually work back up based on that calculation.
So you'll get a reduction, but then actually it's not a permanent reduction. It's going to go back up over a period of years.
It could possibly go back up over a period of years. Remember, the city is assessed every year, depending on what happens to the assessment. Just as this year, we do a recalculation, but it would yield relief to the ratepayers over a period of time.
My question is this, is that there's very few cities that have this type of tax. I think it's about 13 cities that may have it. It seems that at times that the misunderstanding in regards to this tax and how it worked and everything. I know that we've been told that to put it in some type of fund and everything, but I'm just trying to figure out how familiar are you with this tax?
To your point, there's only a few cities in California that have a pension tax. In lieu of that, what many cities do, because the obligation and the assets in CalPERS are subject to the volatility in the market, a lot of cities will take their general fund revenues and set money aside in a similar trust that's obligated, or that's restricted only for paying down pension liability. Palo Alto is one that I could say has a balance of in excess of $100 million in this side trust as you have. It's not collected through a pension tax, but it was through kind of forced fiscal discipline. They said, we know there's going to be market volatility. Sometimes the market's going to be up, sometimes it's going to be down. So we're going to collect. We're going to collect more than we need to, or set aside more than we need to for those times when it fluctuates. And so I'm working with them as well in now deploying that $110 million to pay down their unfunded liability in a similar manner.
So although they don't have the tax, but they're doing something very similar to what we're discussing this evening.
Correct.
Are there any other cities that's with this pension levy tax that you're working with?
No. Well, so the only other similar form would be a pension obligation bond, where they actually borrowed money from the markets, and in those circumstances, it's not optional or discretionary to pay off the unfunded liability. You're required to. So if you issue a pension obligation bond, you have to pay down the unfunded liability. So that I would say is probably the most common for folks that have something that's akin to a tax. But there are I want to say, many hundreds of cities in California that have a pension trust outside of CalPERS, which I think is very important to handle that volatility. And as part of my recommendation would be to retain some of that money for future volatility, because we could pay that money down today, and we know markets fluctuate, so it could come up for a while, and then there's usually markets rebound, and that obligation comes back down. But during that time, where it goes up, it could cause some budget stress on the city, and what you don't want to be in a position to do is to cut service to your constituents. So having some liquidity is another part of the equation, not just how much can I save, but having some liquidity on hand so that you can handle the market volatility, which is really out of your control.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question for city manager on this one. Have we verified that we do have $100 million in the bank to spend on this pension tax?
Mayor and Council, when we embarked upon this many, many months ago, we were looking at a balance that was sufficient, and actually we're checking right now to get a rough estimate of what our balance is. So I should have that answer in just a few moments.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions from the council? Madam Councilwoman Darden?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Mr. City Manager, just one quick question. Are we collecting enough money on the property taxes to pay our annual obligations?
Mayor and Council, last time I saw our payment receipt, the answer to that question is yes. To pay our annual obligation as well as the UAL as well. The way the bill is done, there's your annual obligation and the UAL for each of the categories as you were shown in the presentation. And so last year we did pay over $7 million in UAL for miscellaneous. I don't remember the numbers for the other categories because that's something that's normally handled by the controller's office, but I recall seeing it when we did the check for it.
Oh, okay. So that was, that includes fire and
That includes
police.
fire and police,
Yeah.
yes. It's actually, I believe, four categories. I'm
So-
pretty sure it's 4 categories.
If I could jump in, I do have the numbers. So for the 3 funds, it's about the UAL component, the unfunded is, your next year's payment would be about $17 million. So it's a significant portion of your overall pension obligation. And there are 3, so there's the cost, there's the UAL, which is the portion that's I guess, let me back up. So if all assumptions were magically met, the actuaries were right on, that your only component would be the normal cost or the cost of your annual service credit. So that is one component. The second is the self-correcting component, the unfunded liability component, that CalPERS sends you a supplemental bill saying, sorry, we missed some of our assumptions, so here's the unfunded liability component. The third component of the pension levy, as I understand, is the healthcare benefit component. Those 3 together, my understanding, leads to a levy that's approximately $35 million. And this action would reduce that levy obligation by about $7.2 million, or about 20%.
Okay, I understand from what you had said earlier about if we put it in a trust, or the interest we earn, you had, you made a statement about 3%, but however, we are paying 7.8%.
6.8, yep.
6.8, okay. I do, well, you know, I count money real well, so that is a difference there. So, but I want to make the wisest choice, decision based on the city and the citizens of Compton. So, and I did read in one of the reports where we could make additional payments, you know, throughout the year.
Correct.
And I don't think there was any limitation. So a thought came to me, if the money that we earn off the interest, why wouldn't we make those payments as well?
You absolutely
Additional.
can.
So, all right, well, that's what, you know, came to mind, so.
Yeah, given that these are such long-term obligations, you think about the employee's employment. If it was a brand new employee, they may work 30 years, another 30 years in 20, 30 years in retirement. That's a 50, 60-year horizon. And if you made that contribution into a trust over a 50, 60, or even a 30-year period, it is a lot of money that, as I said, your expected investment earnings or trust investment earnings would offset that benefit by the cost of that benefit by 50 to 60%.
And we also no longer have our Compton Police Department, but there are retirees, so I wondered how many retirees are still under the, do you have that information?
I could send that to you tomorrow. It is a lofty report, and I don't that component I did not look how many remaining. But there are probably, I want to say 9 payments left on that. 9 years worth of payment, and that's another one that if you wanted to pay off, since with any mortgage obligation, the shorter it is, you pay so much more interest when it's 30 years. But when you're down to the final 10, a lot of that is principal. And by paying that one off would reduce your payment. Since you're paying off so much principal, your payment would come down significantly as well on that obligation, which is, if I recall, let's see. It was about 4.7 million.
All right.
If you paid that off. And it would take about $25 million to pay off the remaining obligation on the police.
Yeah, so I do understand what you're saying. Like a mortgage, for instance, if you make, because in the past I've done that myself, and I would make a payment and say for principal only. So
Correct.
that reduced the amount of the loan at that time. So I understand what your analogy there.
Yeah, and slightly different than a mortgage. So when you make an extra payment on a mortgage, they reduce the term. CalPERS actually reduces your payment. So you get the benefit of a reduced payment right away.
All right, thank you so much.
Could you go back to slide 8?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Just trying to be clear. So the payment at December 31st, 2025, that $73 million is a payment, correct?
That would, if you paid 100% of the liability.
And then explain that $65 million.
So that is just 90% of that.
Okay, and drop down to the $47 million.
So if the 73 and the 65 represent the principal principal that you would be paying off, and if the line above shows the total amount that would be required, it would be the sum of the mortgage payments, then the difference is interest that you would otherwise be paying to CalPERS. So it's really the 47 and the 42 million is just the difference between the sum of the mortgage payments being 120 or 108 minus the 73 or the 65 in principal that you'd be paying off.
I got it. I see it.
Are there any other questions? No? Okay.
You're gonna
As
open
soon
it?
as soon as he finish. Okay. Thank you for the presentation. I just made a statement. I told her just wait a minute because he's gonna be here. I'm just asking him to, right now, he can have a seat. Now, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak? Please, just line up.
Okay, for one thing, our treasurer should have been here because he has been investing money and the money has grown. So I'm quite sure he's going to continue to invest so we could have more money. So the money he has invested, maybe it could go on here. Each time he invests, we could pay it down. So the citizens of Compton, when they get their taxes, that could go down also. So I don't know why he's not here at a meeting like this when it comes to money, because he is the treasurer. Maybe that's something you guys can come together on and speak to him about investing the money that has grown on his part to put into the taxes. Okay, so the citizens of Compton money could go down. Okay.
Thank you.
Good evening, City Council.
Madam Mayor, you should ask each speaker to state their name for the record.
Thank you. Charles Davis,
Hi.
because we don't have any sign-up sheets.
Charles Davis. And I was a city clerk here for 30-some years, 30-plus years. I just looked at the proposed budget for 25, 26. You look in fund account 2100. It shows total expenses for PERS $26,036,111. Estimated revenue $42,364,546. Net increase $13,383 and change. You know, I've been fighting this for 3 years now and reducing the tax. This is a unique thing that the city manager is presenting to you now. There's 3 elements to this retirement fund. You got the unfunded liability, you got the retirees and employees payments, including the police, and then you got medical. And medical, our school district just went up 21%. You need to have something in reserve for that. Year over year, your excess has been between $12 and $15 million. You're collecting that much more than what you're having to put out. And PERS tells you too, I did a public records request to the city and to PERS. I got a list of every retiree from PERS. PERS sends a bill to the city 2 years in advance. Madam Mayor and City Council, I beg you, do not approve this resolution. Have another workshop, but take into consideration all the components, all the variables. Even the one where the city managers, where this gentleman said you could pay off the police department early. Well, how will that affect? And then you would be able to reduce the amount of the assessment to the citizens. Our assessments have, well, you all live here. You know how the values have gone up. I just beg you not to take any action today. Have another workshop. I'd even volunteer my time. I helped put some of this together back in the day. The citizens can win, the city can win. But you need to go a lot deeper than just this. He's only talking about one element, you got three. Thank you very much.
I would like to ask the consultant one question. Sure. Would you like to wait until everybody speak before you respond to them? How would you like to do this?
However the mayor wishes.
Okay. Then we'll let everybody speak and then you can respond. Okay.
Hello, everybody. Mayor, council, city manager, clerk. Jacqueline Venters. I was kind of late, but this has been a question for a long time. As a resident and retired, but never worked for the city, I don't understand why the city residents are required to pay for into employees' pension, and they have never been employed for the city of Compton. Retired, the money that I'm paying for somebody else's pension, that's my money. And I don't see that it's fair. I know they said that this goes all the way back to 1947, but hopefully, you know, our new council maybe could consider going back and revising that, because I think the employees should be paying into their own pension with the city of Compton help, not the residents.
Are there anyone else?
I have a comment. Satra Zarita, resident of the city of Compton. I never get the opportunity to speak to you all at one time, but I often hear from residents on a daily basis. And while you figure out the pension payments and how to reduce mortgages and property tax, I would ask that you also look into taking the trash bill off of the property tax and let the trash company who is in the business of collecting trash payments do their own collections, so that way elderly people in this community, who some only pay $600 every 6 months for property tax, and they've paid that for decades. And when the trash was put on the bill, it created a substantial hardship for a lot of the seniors in this community and young people as well. So while I know we are talking about the pension tax, I think the spirit hit me and asked me to come and talk about the rubbish bill. Thank you.
Missy, City of Compton. Thank you, Ms. Zarita, because that was one of my questions about the trash bill. As I did an analyzation last week, looking over the property taxes from last year versus this year, our trash bill was on there it did increase. It did increase. So with that being said, yes, if that should be removed, it should never been put on there in the first place. So yes, I agree, that need to come off, and hopefully we can find some money to allocate to bring down the pension, because me, as a county employee, worked for the LA County Sheriff Department, I had to pay into my own retirement. And they only match up to a certain amount, but if I put in 10 or 15%, they only put in whatever they're gonna put in. So this is the first time me ever hearing we as residents has to pay for someone else's pension. They need to pay for their own pension or figure out another way by outside outside insurance to cover that, like I did, as extra layer, so when I retire. So yes, that needs to be considered, take that off. Thank you.
Would you like to respond? Sir, thank you.
So while I have really nothing to do with the special tax, I think generally, having spent 30 years working in local government, sometimes the revenues that are generated from general taxes, property taxes, sales taxes, and transient occupancy taxes may or may not cover the community's needs. And so that's where sometimes these special taxes arise, is to say, well, the collective sum of all of our revenues, we can't serve the residents the way we would like to. And I think that's what residents ought to consider themselves and the council to say, do our revenues in aggregate, are they sufficient to supply the services to this, that residents want? That's number one. In terms of additional analysis, I think as Council Member Darden pointed out, this isn't your only bite at the apple. You can make additional discretionary payments every year. And so that, I've always looked at managing my pension liability for the community that I served, not as a one-shot deal, that this was something that was looked at every year to see, how do we best deploy any excess resources? And this pension tax can only be used for providing the pension benefit. So if I lived in the city, I would be in favor of putting that money to work in a pension trust in order to bring down the total cost of that promised benefit. Were there other questions that you would like me to answer or speak to? I can't really speak to the trash issue.
Okay, thank you. Oh, excuse me. If you need, we're talking about the pension.
Yeah, I heard.
Okay, thank you. Just want to make sure.
Mark Smith. So much with the pension, and I know it's been a tax over the years, but regarding what Missy has said and our city clerk regarding bundling that with the trash company, he can't speak to it, but there is really no method when a service is not delivered. And that happens far too many times, and we're being taxed on that. So a service is not provided to us, however, we're being taxed on it. That was one of my concerns, and however it relates to the pension fund, or it coming out, it being separated in some way, so we can clearly see. I actually forget why we decided to bundle our taxes with the trash company. I believe it was water and trash. But my point, which I've experienced a number of times since this has happened, the service is not delivered, and we pay on a rate. Nothing is being prorated back to us, so it's money lost to the citizens. That was my concern. Thank you.
Thank you. Since there isn't any other audience comments, like, you, Councilman
Madam
Bauer,
sorry, go ahead.
Councilman Bowers.
This question for you, Mr. Hopkins. Have we started reformation of our pension? So when we hire new employees now, will their pension, will they pay more into the
It
pension
depends on
funds?
the employee. For example, I am a Pepper employee. I pay for my pension. I pay a portion. If I was a Classic employee, I wouldn't pay anything. And again, we covered this many, many months ago in a meeting. The law changed, I want to tell you, it was around 2012 or 2013 was when pension reform was done. And so people that came into the system after 2012 have a requirement to make a contribution toward their pension. Those that were in prior to that, they don't. Mm-hmm. So I think that answers, your question is, again, the critical point is whether they're a Pepper employee or a Classic employee determines what the contribution is.
Yeah, I too retired from Los Angeles County, and they have multiple pension plans. They start out with A. They eliminated that. That was the best one. That doesn't exist anymore. They're down to something like G or F or whatever, which is significantly different. And also with respect to the trash, I wasn't in favor of that. And I think it should be pulled from Liberty and Republic and let them collect their own money.
Councilwoman Darden.
Yes, Mr. City Manager, one of the speakers mentioned that there were non-employees who is receiving retirement benefits. So I would like you to investigate that to make sure and check the roster to make sure everybody that is receiving retirement is a former employee of the city.
Thank you. Councilwoman, thank you for that, because I was wondering how that could be happening if they never work for the city. Thank you. Okay. I need a motion to adjourn the meeting. The workshop.
So
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, Madam City Clerk.
Councilmember Duhart,
Yes.
Councilmember Spicer,
Yes.
Councilmember Bowers,
yes.
Councilmember Darton,
Yes.
Mayor Sharif.
Yes.
You adjourn at 5:20 p.m.
So we have 5 minutes before the regular city council meeting start. 10 minutes. Oh, 10 minutes. Oh, okay. We
city of Compton is one of the oldest cities in what is known as the South Bay here in California that started out as a farm community, that one of the later communities that actually started around the same time as the city of Pasadena, that incorporated to be the city that it is today. There is some history that states that Compton was an oil town. We have been primarily focused on major infrastructure aspects of increasing the appearance of our city. In conjunction with that, my council has set goals that gives priority to youth and seniors. So we have been about making major infrastructure improvements, at the same time increasing programming for youth and seniors throughout the city of Compton.
For me, Compton is home. I grew up here. I have family who are from here. And I have friends that I have long-standing relationships with. And I also work here. So it's like working at home. I basically manage most public works engineering projects. I've been doing this for approximately over 20 years, and I manage both street, sewer, and other infrastructure projects. And it's very important to me because we want to give back to our community and we want to make sure that people have a great place to both live, work, and play.
One of the things that's a major problem, not only here within the city of Compton, but within the state of California, is street takeovers, which street takeovers have a major negative impact on the community. And it's also from a safety perspective because people do get injured, hurt, and killed. And as we've embarked upon some major infrastructure projects here within our city, one of the things that we've been able to do is place down what we call calming devices. And these calming devices have been really critical in hindering the ability for street takeovers to take place at our major intersections. But our global focus on infrastructure has us doing a lot of street improvements, bridge repair, replacement, and we're going to continue to focus on that because obviously the conditions of our infrastructure, the safe it is for our citizens and people passing through our city.
The Artesia Bridge project was a project that stemmed from a fire that took place in December of 2020. There was 2 spans of the bridge that were damaged, and the bridge had to be closed down for approximately 4 years. We engaged the services of consultants and engineering firms to design the project to replace those 2 spans that were damaged as a result of the fire, spending over $12 million of investments that we received from both local, state, and federal funding.
My mayor and council made it a priority that we focus on our youth and our seniors. And in the process of focusing on our youth, one of the things that we've been able to do is basically rehab all of our city parks. It has had a very profound impact on our overall parks in terms of their appearance, and the children love it. Wilson Park is one of our most focal parks here in the city because it has everything. We have new playground equipment there, we have a skate park there, we have new basketball court there, and I think what makes it such a focal point in our city is that we have a mural of the late Kobe Bryant and his daughter, and it is also the ending point of our Christmas parade where we do a huge celebration at the end of that parade at Wilson Park.
Some of the grants that we're securing for the city of Compton is our Caltrans Cleanup and Community Pathway, U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, CDBG and Home Funds, Housing Rehab Program, where we go in and repair homes, bring them up to housing quality standards for sustainability. Our Meals on Wheels program, where the city provides nutritious meals for seniors in our community. So those are some of the grants that we administered through the city. Here, I was born and raised here. Our local parks I played in. I played in our summer basketball, football, all the sports I did. I even went to school here, elementary and junior high. So I'm very passionate about the city and want to give back as much as I possibly can.
What I would love to see for the future of Compton, because Compton and the citizens or former citizens of Compton has had such a profound impact on the world, that I would love to see there be something that makes Compton a destination, that people want to come to Compton to really absorb that history. Because, the world today know the Venus and Serena, they know the Kendrick Lamar, but that list has so much bench. The Dr. Dre's of the world, the Eazy-E's of the world, and it continues, that there are so many people that not only from a hip-hop perspective, from a sports perspective, every walk of life, there is an infamous person from the city of Compton. city of Compton is one of the oldest cities in what is known as the South Bay here in California that started out as a farm community, that one of the later communities that actually started around the same time as the city of Pasadena, that incorporated to be the city that it is today. There is some history that states that Compton was an oil town. We have been primarily focused on major infrastructure aspects of increasing the appearance of our city. In conjunction with that, my council has set goals that gives priority to youth and seniors. So we have been about making major infrastructure improvements, at the same time increasing programming for youth and seniors throughout the city of Compton.
For me, Compton is home. I grew up here. I have family who are from here. I have friends that I have long-standing relationships with. And I also work here. So it's like working at home. I basically manage most public works engineering projects. I've been doing this for approximately over 20 years, and I manage both street, sewer, and other infrastructure projects. And it's very important to me because we want to give back to our community and we want to make sure that people have a great place to both live, work, and play.
One of the things that's a major problem, not only here within the city of Compton, but within the state of California, is street takeovers, which street takeovers have a major negative impact on the community. And it's also from a safety perspective because people do get injured, hurt, and killed. And as we've embarked upon some major infrastructure projects here within our city, one of the things that we've been able to do is place down what we call calming devices. And these calming devices have been really critical in hindering the ability for street takeovers to take place at our major intersections. But our global focus on infrastructure has us doing a lot of street improvements, bridge repair, replacement, and we're going to continue to focus on that because obviously the conditions of our infrastructure, the safe it is for our citizens and people passing through our city.
The Artesia Bridge project was a project that stemmed from a fire that took place in December of 2020. There was 2 spans of the bridge that were damaged, and the bridge had to be closed down for approximately 4 years. We engaged the services of consultants and engineering firms to design the project to replace those 2 spans that were damaged as a result of the fire, spending over $12 million of investments that we received from both local, state, and federal funding.
My mayor and council made it a priority that we focus on our youth and our seniors. And in the process of focusing on our youth, one of the things that we've been able to do is basically rehab all of our city parks. It has had a very profound impact on our overall parks in terms of their appearance, and the children love it. Wilson Park is one of our most focal parks here in the city because it has everything. We have new playground equipment there, we have a skate park there, we have new basketball court there, and I think what makes it such a focal point in our city is that we have a mural of the late Kobe Bryant and his daughter, and it is also the ending point of our Christmas parade where we do a huge celebration at the end of that parade at Wilson Park.
Some of the grants that we're securing for the city of Compton is our Caltrans Cleanup and Community Pathway, U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, CDBG and Home Funds, Housing Rehab Program, where we go in and repair homes, bring them up to housing quality standards for sustainability. Our Meals on Wheels program, where the city provides nutritious meals for seniors in our community. So those are some of the grants that we administered through the city. Here, I was born and raised here. Our local parks I played in. I played in our summer basketball, football, all the sports I did. I even went to school here, elementary and junior high. So I'm very passionate about the city and want to give back as much as I possibly can.
What I would love to see for the future of Compton, because Compton and the citizens or former citizens of Compton has had such a profound impact on the world that I would love to see there be something that makes Compton a destination, that people want to come to Compton to really absorb that history. Because, the world today know the Venus and Serena, they know the Kendrick Lamar, but that list has so much.
It is now 5:34 p.m. and the regular city council meeting for the city of Compton for October the 28th, 2025 is now called to order. Madam City Clerk, roll call.
Councilmember Duhart,
Here.
Councilmember Spicer,
Here.
Councilmember Bowers, Councilmember Darton,
Here.
Mayor Sharif.
Here.
You have a quorum at 5:35 p.m.
Thank you, Madam City Clerk.
Now we move to a moment of
No.
silence and pledge of allegiance.
No, we would like to stand for a moment of silence and a pledge of allegiance. Place your right hand over your heart. Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, for one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam City Clerk.
Madam Mayor, you move to public comments on agenda items and non-agenda matters.
Thank you. Our first speaker is Jackie Ventures. She left, okay. Maria Villarreal.
Buenas noches, María Villarreal, Compton Latino Chamber of Commerce. Good evening, María Villarreal, Compton Latino Chamber of Commerce. Tonight, I'm here with a message for all our immigrants in the city of Compton. Today, we had a very active day with immigration in the city of Compton. Just as you might know, they pick up more than 10 people in the city of Compton. They were over there by Walmart and on Willis Road. I personally experienced that. Not experienced that, but I saw them. So the next time we say that we don't have the problem in Compton, we do. Let's stop being blind and say what is happening in Compton. You know, I wish I can stand in this podium and bring something that I can be positive in business, because that's my passion, the business. But right now it's so crucial, you know, that I keep myself busy informing our immigrants in our city of Compton. Not Linwood, not Cudahy, not Long Beach, not the surrounding areas, but the city of Compton. Because somebody have to be aware of that. And as you, council and mayor, should have that collaboration with other leaders here in Compton to find out what can we do? Obviously, if you don't have papers, if you're illegal, you're gonna be deported. But like in the past, they say, we're gonna make sure that the 70% of Latinos had the right to live in Compton. So, just wanna mention that. I will keep fighting for what is right in our city of Compton, because I do pay taxes, and I believe that I'm not from Compton, but I live here, and I will fighting for what is right. Thank you very much.
Mayor, the record should reflect that Councilman Bowers joined the meeting at 5:38 p.m.
Thank you. The next speaker is Anthony Ruff.
Good evening, City Council. Good evening, everyone, community. First, to introduce myself. My name is Anthony Ruff. I retired from the United States Army only 4.5 years ago after serving 35.5 years. I attained the highest rank listed as a Sergeant Major, and I've been spending most of my time in retirement and working with a lot of the veterans organizations here in Compton and everywhere else in the immediate community areas. What we're doing, and I want the community to come out and support, is to understand the history of our veterans, and particularly our veterans of foreign wars of the United States post-5394 here in Compton. The post was opened during the height of the Vietnam War, by a group of predominantly black veterans returning from fighting America's enemies overseas, only to find that the fight against segregation and discrimination on American soil was still going on. The post earned a reputation as a safe space for the growing black community in Compton. By the early 1970s, Compton had one of the largest concentrations of African Americans in the country, over 65%. For many years, the city was a desirable suburb for black and middle class of Los Angeles, with streets lined with spacious, attractive family homes. With that being said, we want to make sure that everyone understands that we're here to serve the community, serve veterans and their families. So this event is sponsored and hosted by your very own Compton branch of the NAACP, Unit 1031, which I encourage everyone to join and become a member of. I am the Compton Branch Armed Services and Veterans Affairs Committee Chair, and the community and everyone in this room and the sound of my voice are cordially invited to attend the celebration of the 60th anniversary of the Compton VFW Post. We'll be honoring veterans. The community will unite to celebrate Veterans Day by recognizing the service and sacrifices of everyone who has served in the U.S. Armed Forces, past and present. The event will honor individual and veteran service organizations showing appreciation for their courage, dedication, patriotism, and ongoing service. It will take place on Saturday, November the 8th, 2025, from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the Howard Martin Richardson Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States, post number 5394, located at 303 East Palmer Street here in Compton, California. This event will feature a flag presentation of the United States Cadet Corps Honor Guard. We have local, county, state, and federal officials are invited to participate, issuing proclamations, resolutions, and recognitions to individual veterans and veteran service organizations. The Los Angeles Chapter 5 of the Disabled American Veterans will provide food and refreshments, as well as on-site child care in the High Five Zone. Please join us to bring veterans, family, friends, neighbors, co-workers, and others from our shared communities. There will be VSOs on site to assist with benefits and claims. This event is open and free to the public. We have the National Association of Black Veterans, the National Association of Black Military Women, the Montford Point Marines, to name a few that will be in attendance. Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate everyone here.
Madam Mayor, I've been apprised that items number 3 and 5 are being tabled from the agenda.
Okay, thank
for
you.
the public's edification.
Okay. The next speaker is Lindsay McKellen.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, council members. I'm Lisa McClellan, and I'm here again for the water aerobics program. It's supposed to end tomorrow at the breast cancer event celebration they're doing for us at the pool. But we have other ladies that showed up tonight along with me to let you guys know that if you can, in any way possible, to extend the program, it would be appreciated. These ladies are unable to do the exercises on land that they're able to do in the water. The camaraderie, the stress reliever, it covers a multitude of things for us when we're in there. And there's at least 20 of us at a time. There's a few guys in there too, you know, and so if that's possible. Also, real quick, we got a nitro issue in Compton. Then people be with them balloons and the huffing, that stuff. If that can be something that's addressed, that's part of the takeovers. When I talk to people, it makes them crazy and it makes them want to speed and do different stuff. And if y'all can, they doing those takeovers on Bradfield, in between Compton and Rosecrans. So if we can get speed bumps, maybe, that would help us out over there too with that issue. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Miller? Mr. Mark? He left. Okay. Tanya?
Tanya Lewis, First District. City Manager, is there any way possible that you can give us a list of the people who are still on pension and living? Those, the word you used, Jonathan, what are you? Classic. Did you say classic?
No.
What?
My retirement
Yes.
with Los Angeles County.
Oh,
with
okay.
Sarah.
Is there any way, because this has been since 1947 and it's 2025, and they did start paying the new employees 2013. So can we get a list of the ones that are not paying, okay? I don't know if this is for the mayor or for you, city manager. In August, we had no meeting at the chamber. September, we don't have no meeting. October, no meeting. Still here at Data High. Now we're going into November. What is going on with the chamber? How far along are they, Mayor? How far along? Have they put the chairs in? Have they painted, put a door up, put a window up, air conditioning? Because we needed a new air conditioner. What is the progress over there? Or will we be going into the new year still here?
Why don't I allow the city manager to address that?
Oh, okay. So that means I'll sit down and he'll answer my question after or right now so the public can hear, because there are people on their TV right now listening.
Missy?
Good evening, Council. I'm Missy, City of Compton. I agree with Tanya. It's a mess over there in that chambers. I don't know what's going on, but hopefully the city manager can explain it to us. Mayor, I didn't ask you a couple of questions and I never got an answer, and I'm gonna keep asking just like a kid until you give me an answer. I asked you about Nibble Thoughts, that nonprofit. I asked you to find out exactly what did they do with that $106,000, but you never gave me no answer. I never seen them in the park. When they say they were supposed to be in the park, I never seen them in the park. So we need to know exactly what's going on. Last week, I was here at the podium, and I did my public comments. On Saturday, I got several different text messages, posts, texts, where your council person dragged me through the mud on social media. I don't appreciate it. But I'm gonna put that in somebody else's hands to handle that. Because he is an elected official. He shouldn't have no business dragging me or what I said. If they wanted to know exactly what I said, turn on the TV. That's inappropriate. And I feel for my safety since he put it out there like that because of the type of people he hangs out with. Yes. I'm going to make sure, like my kids, my boys say, I'm going to be protected. But I'm going to make sure things is done right, decent, and in order. I didn't appreciate that whatsoever. Proposition 50, I'm asking everybody to vote yes on Proposition 50. There's still street takeovers on Rosecrans and Central on the weekends. Could someone look into that and find out exactly what's going on with that, with the safety? Because now they're coming into the neighborhoods, and that's not safe for the kids. The street signs, do you know exactly when our street signs is going to be implemented? And for Mr. Strickland, you know I love you. I'm always rooting for you. But can you turn that irrigation on the mediums on Wilmington? Because the little flowers are kind of tilting. They leaning to the side. They need to be upspringing. And I seen them put irrigation over there. They also put trees over there at the Arsenal Park. I don't understand why they put them over there. There's no irrigation. To me, it's just a waste of money. Because
The next speaker is Fadell.
Fidel Marquez, District 1. I'm glad items 3 and 5 got pulled tonight. I attended Thursday evening's meeting with the rezoning of the city. And I want to say consultants that conducted the meeting, everything that came out of their mouth was a mandate from the state. And I have an issue with that. We're a chartered city, and I don't think anyone should come dictate what we do here in the city. Not for once do I hear about improving our public safety. We're low on firemen. We're practically killing those poor guys. And we're down on sheriffs. But we continually want to bring housing into this city. We need to fix the problems first, then worry about housing after. I will continue to say this. We will fight as residents to stop this housing. We don't want it. We don't need it. We don't pay into the state, so they shouldn't come in here and dictate what we do here. They've seen the audit. They know the problems of the city of Compton, and if we don't comply, I'm sure they wouldn't have a problem with it. I want to address, last week Missy got up here and talked about this car that was rented for Council Member Andre Spicer. Form 460 says he was reimbursed by Trafina Simmons. Trafina Simmons is not the treasurer, nor is she the city manager. That's a violation. Trafina has no right to be reimbursing anyone. The charter states all monies go to the city treasurer. Why isn't Trafina being reprimanded for doing such process of reimbursing anyone? Violation. Also, I want to know why this council person with the title of Mayor Pro Tem hasn't been censored by any council members up there. We're opening up the city for lawsuits. The mayor of Downey is censored as we speak and possibly removed because he made a statement on social media with no names, just saying today we celebrate.
The next speaker is Vanessa.
Good evening, citizens of Compton. I, too, support Prop 50 and asking that everybody vote yes on Prop 50. Because as you know, we're in a fight. We're not in just a fight. We're actually in a war right now. And we have a big duty to get out and vote November 4th. Because this is really something that's going to determine how long Republicans are going to be in office. And they're setting it up to be in office for a long, long time. And if you hadn't heard, they're sending people down to make sure our votes are counted properly. And I'm sure one will be sitting in Compton. And I'm hoping that we can have one polling place, no more than 2. So that we can make sure that our votes are counted and our votes are counted properly. This is something, I really don't want these nonprofits counting votes. You know, we pay Norwalk, let them do it. We have less polls open. We can kind of contain the voting. We can make sure that it's fair and legal. And that's my concern about this whole thing with too many polls. Polls in places we don't even know about. Polls in places where Dominguez Valley Hospital used to be. No one even knew about it. You know, we need to see a schedule of where the polls are. If we have 2 places, then everybody can go to one or the other. We have senior buses now. They can pick seniors up and get them to where they need to be. And that will contain a lot of the theft. And we know for 37 years, when Alita was in there, how much cheating went on in the city of Compton during the vote count. And I'm sure she knows too, because somehow they always would pop up somewhere. So those things we don't want to have anymore, because we don't want all of our votes thrown in the trash from Trump's people, because they are coming, and they are going to count Californians on the target list, and we all know that. So let's try and get that, let's solidify where we're going to have our voting booths, if they're going to be at Compton College, if they're going to be here, if they're going to be at Gonzales and maybe one other park, but definitely that. And another thing too, we really need to look at this armory with the $3 million that it was sold for. I understand the school district asked for a reasonable price. And at the time, the owner asked for $8 million, but you resell it for $3 million. Now we have to go to war on these new developers that are coming in and just densifying. You know, there's nothing wrong with density if it's put in right. But the density that I'm seeing, it's all.
Thank you. Madam City Clerk, on the success. Who? I have a question. On this success agency, the sign-in sheets, will they be still?
You have the sign-in sheet?
Mm-hmm, I do.
You can't open the meeting until 6:30. Right.
Okay. All right.
It wasn't a joint meeting.
Right. I think, Lynn, you signed up for the success agency, on the success agency sheet. You will be allowed to speak once we get to that meeting. Okay? Okay, thank you. Yes. Oh, excuse me. We'll handle that at the success agency, when we get to the success agency meeting. You signed up on the success agency meeting. That's what you signed up on. I'm not being wishy-washy. Excuse me, Vanessa. Oh, excuse me. I knew this was going to happen. I'll let him speak and get that word. Lynn, come to the podium. You have 3 minutes. Excuse, right now, you get to the pole, please, get to the podium. Well, could you please let her speak?
I have a hearing problem, so you have to speak enough so I can hear. My name is Beatty Carroll. I live at 838 West 138th Street, Compton, California, 90222 for 67 years. I had an acupuncture appointment for yesterday, and I called for a ride and was denied a ride, said I didn't live in the city of Compton. I pay my taxes here. I vote here. I vote in the primary and a regular election. And to have been denied after 67 years being faithful in the city of Compton, I feel like I've been violated. And I feel like this is not the first time feeling like I was violated. they said that I live in the unincorporated area of Los Angeles, not in the city of Compton. I've been here 67 years, so I don't know where I live. I was told when I bought here in the city of Compton, I was buying in the city of Compton, not the unincorporated area. I do know the unincorporated areas also. So I'm very displeased because there's so many things that I've asked for in the past as a taxpaying citizen and disabled senior, been denied the rights of having those things. And I know that I'm entitled to many of those things, but I want the public to know, I want the people, the citizens of Compton to know that we are being denied and not being told why or what. We need some kind of communication. We don't have a paper anymore, it's in Long Beach. We need it out of Long Beach back into Compton so that we could be well informed. I'm gonna leave that because I wanna say something else. On Sunday, I went to church and came back home. I've been complaining every time I come here about the street that I live on has not been done in 42 years. That was when Mayor Tom Bradford brought the Olympics to California. When I got out of the car Sunday, I almost fell backwards. My play daughter and her friend caught me, because if I had fallen backwards, I'm sure I would have had some kind of brain damage by now and wouldn't be up here today. So I think to keep procrastinating, saying that you've done my street, you're doing my street is next, and not getting to it in 42 years, I think somebody needs to go and get some kind of better understanding of what's going on and what they're up there for. You're not up there to make promises and don't keep them. You made promises to us when you were running. We want those promises kept. And I am tired, as a 92-year-old citizen disabled, of coming up here saying the same thing.
Okay. Well, thank you. What I would like staff to do is that if we could actually go back and do some research here for a minute, because our address is 838 West 138th Street. She lives in Compton. By George Washington. Okay. So we need, okay. So there you go. Tamara, will you please get her phone number and take care of that, please? Okay.
Madam Mayor, it's been addressed. Staff used a faulty map, and that's how they miscommunicated that she did not live in the city. They've been trying to resolve the issue, and they're going to reach out to her.
Okay, thank you. So it's because she's been trying to get her street done for 30-some odd years. That's a long time. Lynn?
Okay. Lynn Boone, City of Compton. The thing I want to say is that it's our employees again. You guys are hiring people. You're not training them at all. Because she called in, and the person that she spoke with told her, I just started, and you don't live in Compton. That's wrong. You don't put anybody on the phone to answer to the residents here, and they don't have the knowledge. But that's what's been going through this city, and we were dinged with that in the audit. And that's another one of my questions. What happened to the audit findings? We never heard any results. We never heard where we stand. And what's going to happen, we'll have to write to the auditors again, the state of California, to find out. And it's sad. It's really sad. When people come up here and ask you guys questions, and you vote on every item in the agenda, we already know you're going to vote yes. But if you're going to vote yes, how is it that you don't know anything about the item? You have to refer everything back to this city manager. He doesn't talk to you. He just tells you what he's going to do. I really, really don't understand. And citizens, I want to tell you They continue to bring people here to put on PowerPoint presentations, and they have no idea of Compton. Why don't you start hiring, or when you interview these people, ask them if they know anything about a charter city? Because if you pull, real easy reading, Emma, charter cities versus general law, the first line will tell you, charter cities don't have to abide by state laws. They don't. That's what makes us a charter city. That's why you can drive down our street and see a business and then a residence, and then another business and another business and then a residence, because that's in our charter. That's what the people want. But you guys don't communicate with the people. And I want to know, when does the Planning Commission meet? All of these things coming up, I remember, and maybe I'm slow, but I remember the Planning Commission used to meet, and Ms. Darden, you was on it. And things that you guys didn't agree with, you told the developers no. And they had to come to the council and ask for a hearing, which they were supposed to pay for. But now we don't know nothing until you drive down the street and hear somebody banging and building. It's just not right. So people, I'm telling you, we have a chance to change. We really do. And this time,
Madam City Clerk?
Madam Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
someone mentioned about the voting locations, so I was wondering maybe if the city clerk could provide those locations, and can we put them on the city's website as well?
Yes, and the locations are Wilson Park, and they opened this week, and they're open from 10 to 7. Wilson Park and Burrell McDonald Park, and on election day, they'll be open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m.
And I add that we did receive pamphlets that gave those locations as well.
We did receive what?
I'm saying every voter received those pamphlets that stated those locations.
Yes, from the Register Recorder's Office, and there should be something in the paper tomorrow that identifies the polling places, the times, and gives a nonpartisan opinion about Prop 50.
Prop 50, that's right. I got it already.
Thank you.
Thank you. I did receive it. Okay. Madam City Clerk, we're now at the consent agenda.
Yes.
Consent items are routine and expected to be non-controversial. They will be acted upon by the council at one time without discussion unless a council member requests an item to be removed or discussed. Is there a motion?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Are there any items that any council person would like to have discussed? Madam City Clerk, roll call.
Councilmember Duhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Spicer?
Yes.
Councilmember Bowers?
Yes.
Councilmember Darton?
Yes.
Mayor Sharif?
Yes.
Now we move to the regular agenda. Item 3 has been tabled. We move to item 4, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Compton authorizing the city manager to declare certain properties located within the City of Compton surplus land pursuant to the Surplus Land Act, Government Code Sections 54220 ET SEQ.
Is there a motion?
So move.
Second.
Thank you. Discussion? Madam City Clerk, roll call.
Councilmember Duhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Spicer?
Yes.
Councilmember Bowers?
Yes.
Councilmember Darton?
Yes.
Mayor Sharif?
Yes.
Now we move to council comments.
Thank you. We go start with Councilwoman from District 1.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Before I do my comments, are we having the council meeting here next Tuesday, or are we having the meeting on Wednesday? Because I've been asked this question.
It is the council's pleasure.
So
Because it's election day, I've had people ask me.
I know I'm getting the same call.
Okay.
I'm getting the same calls. Well, let me say this, is that I noticed that normally in the past on election time that would have the meeting the day after. Now it's up to the council if they want to have it that Tuesday or that Wednesday.
I want to have it Tuesday.
I'm fine with Tuesday.
Tuesday's fine with me.
Then you have the consensus of the council.
Thank you.
Thank you. Last Thursday, I had the pleasure of attending Family and Friends Night at the Neighborhood Housing Services in support of Compton's first cohort of EMS students studying to learn their EMT license. This inspiring event highlighted those training to become the next generation of healthcare professionals and emergency responders. I want to commend the organizers and partners of the EMS Corps program for investing in these promising young professionals and creating pathways to meaningful careers in public service. Saturday, I attended the ribbon-cutting ceremony for the newest Children's Institute located at Wilmington and Elm Street. This new facility will provide essential programs and support services for children and families in our community, creating a space where young people can grow, learn, and thrive. I'm thankful for the positive impact that Children's Institute has had here in Compton and look forward to their continued partnership and commitment to empowering families. If you or someone you know is interested in their services, please contact area code 310-438-3463. And I was told on Saturday it's free to go there. If you see no parking signs posted in District 1, Edison is partnering with a third-party contractor, City Light and Power, to install new electrical wiring as part of their regular maintenance and infrastructure upgrades. Join the Greater Zion Church family in partnership with Holy Revival Church and Trinity Chapel Life Center for their 2025 Harvest Fest on Friday, October 31st from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. The event will take place at 2408 North Wilmington Avenue, and that's in Compton. This family-friendly celebration will feature games, food, jumpers, music, and fun for children of all ages. Come out and enjoy an evening of safe, festive activities with our community. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. No one should face breast cancer alone. In support of this vital cause, Neighborhood Housing Services is offering free mammograms to qualifying participants. The next screening will take place Saturday, November 1st from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at 1051 West Rosecrans Avenue. We encourage everyone to take advantage of this opportunity and help spread the word so our community members can receive the care they deserve. For more information, contact area code 844-426-3926. Please be advised that due to the federal government shutdown, CalFresh benefits may not be available for the month of November. If you or someone you know is in need of food or experiencing food insecurities, United Hands of Compton will be distributing food at 139th Street and Wilmington. Distribution will take place Wednesday and Fridays at 10 a.m. until supplies last. Additionally, there are 900 plus available food banks in the Los Angeles area. To find the nearest one to you, search lafoodbank.org. Congratulations to Bruce Boyden. He was inducted into the National Black Child Development Institute Council of Elders during their annual national conference in Atlanta, Georgia. This honor recognizes his outstanding leadership and lifelong commitment to improving the lives of Black children and families through education, advocacy, and community development. NBCDI's Council of Elders is comprised of distinguished leaders dedicated to advancing equity and excellence in Black child development. Congratulations, Bruce. The celebration of life for Robert Bobby Watkins will be held Thursday, October 30th at 11:30 a.m. at the Inglewood Cemetery Mortuary, located at 3801 West Manchester Boulevard, Inglewood, California. The repast to follow at 4417 West 58th Place, Los Angeles, California. And Bobby Watkins is the one that brought the Cressy Legends to Gonzalez Park. I'd like to thank you for coming out this evening. Your presence, input, and commitment to staying informed, speaking up, and working together help strengthen our community and propel our city forward. You are the eyes and ears of the community, and your voice matters to me. And in closing, always remember to eat, shop, and buy Compton, a safe, clean, and friendly city. And I have one more comment. That they were talking about the water aerobics. I believe that the time changes this weekend, so it's going to be dark over at the park. I don't know if there's lighting over there or if we have lifeguards so that you can continue to do the water aerobics, but I'll let the city manager address that issue. And Madam Mayor, that concludes my announcements. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Spicer.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. A few announcements. On Halloween, October 31st, we'll have a haunted house and trunk or treat at Luders Park. Address is 1500 East Rosecrans, 90221. Starts Friday, October 31st at 4 p.m. and it goes till 9 p.m. There'll be games, food, fun, treats, candy, and a movie. Again, they'll be watching Beetlejuice outside, so bring your lawn chairs and whatever makes you comfortable to sit down and watch a movie. For more information, reach out to my liaison at tspears@comptoncity.org. On November 19th, we'll have another nonprofit basics workshop. It continues on Wednesday, November 19th. It'll be at the Dollar High Community Center from 1 to 4. This session will cover donor platforms and CRM tools, overview of donor database, and automated tools. For information, reach out to my office. On November 23rd, I will host a Sunday Givings Dinner on 5 different blocks in District 2. This is our Thanksgiving celebration. Between the hours of 2 and 4, we will be at Tucker Street, McMillan Street, and Orchard. And from 3 to 5, we'll be at Rose Avenue and Sloan Avenue. And what we're going to do is, the plan is to block off a portion of the street, bring out tables, chairs, linens, and we'll cater the food for residents on that block to actually come out and have dinner amongst each other. We'll call it a community dinner, if you will. So I'm inviting all those blocks out to come out and fellowship with your neighbors. Get to know your neighbor. On November 27th, there will be the 9th annual Thanksgiving in the Park on the 27th, Luders Park at 11 a.m. They'll be assembling and delivering 250 hot meals, toiletries to the unhoused neighbors. And we'll also need volunteers, supplies, and donations. If you want to donate to this cause, you can reach out again to my liaison. The phone number is 605-5684 or tspears@comptoncity.org. I also want to say happy birthday, happy 99th birthday to Mrs. Dorothy Belcher. She's in the 1st district, but her business is in the 2nd district, and she's one of my biggest supporters. So got a chance to celebrate with her over the weekend as well. And lastly, save the date for December 6th. My office will host our 2nd annual We See You Smile. It's free dental and free vision care. It's first come, first serve for Compton residents only. As it relates to dental services, we'll be offering exams, x-rays, cleanings, fillings, and extractions. As it relates to vision services, there'll be eye exams, glasses on site. So all you have to do is show up. You just need your Compton ID. It's from 9 to 5 p.m. December 6th, right here at the Dollar High Community Center. The address is 301 North Tamarind Avenue. Again, it's for Compton residents only, and this is free dental and free vision. Also ask that you save the date for December 13th as we have the Compton Christmas Parade. My office will host the Compton Christmas Parade concert and after party at Wilson Park. Address is 123 North Rose Avenue, 90221. It will start immediately following the parade. We'll also have a toy drive attached to it as well. If you are interested in being a volunteer or donating, again, reach out to my liaison or my office at tspears@comptoncity.org. I have to say thank you to the Los Angeles African American Employees Association for having me as their keynote speaker over the weekend. It was very informative, and it was an honor to speak on the state of diversity, inclusion, and equity in the County of Los Angeles, and a call to action. Thank you guys for inviting me out for a 2nd year in a row. Definitely appreciate the support. And that concludes my council comments for tonight. You all have a wonderful and blessed evening.
Mayor Sharif, I forgot to mention something. May I speak?
Yes, ma'am.
Go Dodgers!
You could have did that at the end. You really didn't have to disturb us right now. Councilman Bowers.
Okay, good evening. Let me start out with the bad news first. Mr. City Manager, on the corner of Indigo and Tamarind, there was a bin placed there for trash, but it's turned into a dump site. It's massive trash out there, and I'm requesting that we put an LVT camera over there and remove the trash bin and whatnot. It's way out of control. Also requesting an LVT camera to be put back at Woodlawn Cemetery. They had another break-in. Also want to start working on revision of some of the municipal codes. Number one being the dumping, increase the fees on it, along with confiscating your vehicle, and also increase the penalty for littering as well. But I have a list of other municipal codes I'll present at a later time. I'd like to remind our residents that the 2025 Compton Woodley Air and Space Fair will take place this Saturday, November 1st from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at 901 West Alondra Boulevard. This year's fair will feature aerospace exhibits, flight demonstrations, and the exciting new Space Zone experience, along with interactive workshop and hands-on learning activities that celebrate Compton's rich aviation legacy. The event is free and open to the public, offering families an opportunity to enjoy a day of innovation, inspiration, and community pride. On that note, yesterday I attended the tour at Northrop Grumman facility in Palmdale, and we were able to tour the where they assemble the F-35 fighter plane, this future fighter plane. The technology in there is outrageous, and we're like light years behind. This place, it's just unbelievable. Anyway, they have a program. It's for school kids on up. It's called A-STAR, Aeronautics Safety Training and Refinement. They're the leading industry in this type of training. The A-Star Academy is leading industry. They have a job execution team, business intelligence, business analytics, data analytics. They focus on compliance, refinement, training, continuous improvement. They also have a program for young people called the Aeronautics Technician Educational Partnership. So young people can get in this program and they actually can get paid for improvement, up to $10,000. So they work on the young people and just encourage them to improve. They have multiple modules that you could actually start out in school and you can build a career at Northrop Grumman and become an executive through this program. And actually want to bring them here to the Compton School District. They're in Redondo, Antelope Valley, and I believe Orange County. But I did speak with their officials over there about bringing them here to Compton. It's an awesome program, but the technology is out of this world, literally. The Senior Town Hall meeting follow-up is scheduled for Wednesday, November 5th from 12:30 to 2 p.m. at Douglas F. Dollarhide Community Center, located in the main room on the first floor. This session will continue the discussion from our July meeting, focusing on the progress of action items and addressing ongoing concerns raised by our senior residents. As always, I extend my sincere appreciation to the residents of the 3rd District and the entire Compton community for your ongoing support and engagement. Through collaboration, accountability, and community unity, we continue building a stronger and more connected Compton. Thank you. Have a safe evening.
Councilwoman Darden.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. On Thursday, October 23rd, I attended the 15th Annual Justice Jam Resilience, hosted by the community lawyers here at Douglas Dollarhide Community Center. On Saturday, October 25th, along with several council members, the mayor, and the city clerk, I attended the grand opening of the Children's Institute at 701 North Wilmington Avenue in District 1. This is a complete renovation of the old Mid-City hardware store, and the facility looks top-notch for educating children from 3 weeks to 5 years old through the Head Start program. On Wednesday, October 29th, I will be attending the Restoration of Division Services. It's their Compton Human Trafficking Task Force, and that meeting will be here at Dollarhide on tomorrow. On Saturday, November 1st, I will attend the Compton Air and Space Fair, a celebration of aviation, innovation, and community spirit, and that will be held at Compton Woodley Airport from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And on Saturday, November the 8th, Mr. Ruff already made that announcement about the VFW, which will be honoring the veterans and service organizations, so please mark your calendars to attend that event. On Friday, November 21st, I will host the annual Urban Hoedown with seniors, including Bobby Harden, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., and that will be here at Dollarhide Community Center. Admission cost is $20 and is available at the Dollarhide Community Center Information Desk. I, too, want to congratulate Mr. Bruce Barton for his recognition. I've known Mr. Bruce for many, many years, and he is a dedicated worker, and he works hard here in our community. Congratulations again, Mr. Barton. I want to wish happy birthday to Mr. Jimmy Dixon. His celebration was held today. Also, happy birthday to Miss Rita Belfry. Her birthday will be this Thursday, and she is one of the workers here in the city of Compton. Republic Services provide exclusive waste and recycling collection services for residential, commercial, and industrial customers. So all your bulky items, please call Republic Service 48 hours in advance to schedule your bulky pickup items. Their number is 800-299-4898. Again, that number is 800-299-4898 to schedule your pickup. Mr. City Manager, some of the persons had questions about the rubbish bill being on our tax bill. So I'm requesting if you could please take a look at that document an agreement to see if there's anything that we can do to remove that from the trash bill. I'm not certain, I don't recall, but if you would please look into that matter, I would appreciate it. And so will the members of the community. On Sunday, November the 9th, St. Timothy's Episcopal Church will be celebrating their 100th birthday. Also will be honoring Mr. Ron Chapman. Memorial will be held at that event as well. I would like to close in memory of Miss Jewel Allen, who succumbed to her long illness on this past Sunday. Please keep the family in your prayers. And residents, I want you to know your voice is heard and it always matters to me. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councilwoman. I would like to ask the question, have any of you ever had an opportunity to meet a Supreme Court justice? Well, on the 23rd of this month, Ketanji Brown Jackson was here at Cal State University Dominguez Hill, where she had us a luncheon as part of the Presidential Distinguished Lecture series, and it really was a meaningful opportunity to engage in conversation about her journey. She talked about her life and just shared a lot of information, lesson from my life in the law, from her life in the law, and our historic impact on our nation. And so it was a packed house. She had a luncheon, a private luncheon, but there was about 700-800 people that was there in attendance for that event, for the lecture event. The same evening, I stopped by Family and Friends Night for the Compton EMS Corps. It was inspiring to see the outpouring of support from families and loved ones as participants near the completion of this life-changing program. We have a lot of young women that's in this program, and a lot of young women that is aspiring to be firemen, and I'm firemen, join the fire department, and I'm excited about them and their aspirations and want to be a firefighter. Late that night, I attended the 15th Annual Justice Jam Resilience Fundraiser hosted by Community Lawyers Incorporated, celebrating their 20 years of service. This organization continues to make affordable legal aid accessible for low and moderate income individuals throughout our region. On Saturday, October 25th, I attended the 4th Annual Black Men's Wellness Day, an empowerment event focused on addressing health disparities through workshops, health screenings, and fitness activities that encourage holistic wellness. That same day, I joined the 8th Annual Memorial 1K Walk for a Cause, raising awareness around the dangers of drinking and driving while honoring those impacted by impaired drivers. This young lady, who is a sheriff, her son was killed by a wrong-way driver that came on the freeway the wrong way, and he killed her son. So that is what that's all about. She started doing this walk every year, and this is our first year doing it. Before, she was doing something, but it's not the memorial walk. So this is what we was participating in on Saturday. I also had the pleasure of attending the grand opening of the Christians Institute preschool on Wilmington Avenue. You really need to see this, take the opportunity to go by and take a look at this preschool. They have babies. I met the little baby there, 3 months old, and so they're taking children from birth up to age 5, and it's exciting to see how they have actually taken that building and transformed it into a preschool. It is really nice, and I know that a lot of parents should be excited that their children will be attending there. And that was, I ended the evening at the 4th Annual Black LA Sneakers Ball hosted by the Black LA Young Democrats, a vibrant celebration of culture, community, and civic engagement. And tomorrow, Wednesday, October 29th, from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. at Dollar High Community Center, the City of Compton, in partnership with the Restoration Divergent Services, will host a Compton Human Trafficking Task Force meeting. This is an RSVP-only event. To ensure your spot, please see the flyer in the lobby or contact Deetro Handy at 310-971-8367. And in closing, I would like to say congratulations to Bruce Borden. You deserve it. It's great to see how you just continue to move through that process. I want to thank you for your continued dedication to the City of Compton. Let's keep lifting each other up, staying engaged, and working together toward a stronger community. Wishing you all a safe and peaceful evening. And we'll see you next week.
We have successor agency meeting.
Oh, that's right. You reminded me. Okay, I need a motion to adjourn this meeting. I'm taking care of it, Madam City Clerk.
Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second? Madam City Clerk, roll call.
Councilmember Duhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Spicer?
Yes.
Councilmember Bowers?
Yes.
Councilmember Darden?
Yes.
Mayor Sharif?
Yes.
You adjourn at 6:35 p.m.
And just in time for the successor agency meeting that start at 6:30 p.m. I would need a motion.
No, we're gonna do roll call.
Oh, okay, roll call.
Councilmember Duhart?
Here.
Councilmember Spicer?
Here.
Councilmember Bowers?
Here.
Councilmember Darden?
Here.
Mayor Sharif?
Here.
Now we move to public comments on agenda and non-agenda items.
Thank you, Madam City Clerk. We have Jackie Ventures. I think she's no longer here. Lynn Boone.
City of Compton. I asked when the Planning Commission was meeting, and I knew I wasn't going to get any kind of answer. But it's, so now with Mr. Hopkins controlling pretty much all of the budgets, he makes a decision on how the land is going to be sold, the land that belongs to the people, the land that belongs to the City of Compton, and he has control of that. I just want to emphasize this because other people are watching our council meeting now. And when I send them this stuff, they just can't believe it. They can't believe that we have 5 people up here that allows one person to run the entire city. It's something wrong. And this is how money comes up missing. Because with him controlling all the budgets, he can spend whatever he wants to spend and take it out of whatever budget he wants to take it out of. Because you guys are just going to vote yes. You never look at those account numbers or anything. It's just sad. It's really sad. And Mr. Bowers, I just want to say, you know, the people really thought at one time that we really had somebody that had sense, that knew what was going on, what was wrong up there. And then you just joined the Klan. Okay, you just a part of it. Only thing they got, they don't even have to throw the pole out for you no more. In the same way with Ms. Darden. You know, we thought we had a couple people up there that kind of knew what was going on, especially since you've been on the Planning Commission. And you are allowing our land to just get sold any kind of way for whatever dollar amount. Nobody's not even asking for what's the going rate for the property. It's just sad. It really is. It's sad. And people, like I said, please keep in mind that you have a chance to make a decision come March to make a change up here. Because there's people that are willing to help us, but we have to show them that we want to help ourselves. And to keep these same people sitting up there is ludicrous. They don't answer any questions. They don't do anything. They spend our money. It's supposed to be a reimbursement when you go out of town, not a credit card. We have nothing, no invoice, anything on the credit cards. And I'm saying this, you guys already know this, but I'm saying it for the people that are watching. 31 cards, we don't know who's using them. But guess what? We, the people, are going to have to pay for them. You have Trafina, who's the city assistant manager, making $250,000 a year.
Mark Smith is not here. Tanya?
Madam Mayor.
Yes,
if I may, and I meant to address this during my comments. Ms. Boone, some of the state law, some of the cases, such as conditional use permits, variances, do not have to go before the Planning Commission. The laws change, and some of them can be handled or approved administratively. So if you wish, I can discuss it further with you. And I believe the Planning Commission meets, I think, the third Wednesday of the month. So I'm happy to talk with you further about the Planning Commission. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Tanya?
Yes, Tanya Lewis, First District. Right here where Tom Berger is, and I come down Rosecrans, make my right on Alameda, and I make a right there at the corner. There's a hole so big, city manager. I was thinking Marcus will be here tonight, but he's not. Can you look into it and tell him, ask him for me to fill that hole? That hole, you guys ride around and go to different places. I don't understand why you ain't seen the hole right there at Thomas, on that corner right there. You could walk to it. But anyway, First District lady, you mentioned something when you were speaking that you guys inform us. Why did it take for Dale to come up here and tell us about Trevina, is that her name? About a check issued to him? No, you said that you informed the city, you informed the people here. We have to play the tape back because you said informed, okay? We was never informed that this woman wrote him a check. Now, she has the right to write a check. I thought it was the treasurer. And I can't stand your silliness. Every time someone speaks about your situation, you have a smile on your face. Grown men don't sit and smile. You need to grow up, okay? And you want to run for mayor? I think you need to change that. Why did the lady reimburse him? Huh? He wrote her a check. For what reason? I mean, sorry. Why would you write her a check? For a car that you had rented? Yeah, she mentioned last week you tore it up. Why is this back and forth with her? That's what I don't understand. Is there any way you can explain it or have her to come to explain why you guys are doing this? Because we're always worried about our money, that we pay our taxes, and there's so much money that be missing from Compton, okay? So maybe she can come and explain it.
You guys realize you're talking about a check that I wrote to her, not a check that she wrote to me. And it was very much explained last Tuesday. You can just go back and check the video.
Missy?
Okay, Missy, City of Compton. I have a question. I think about a year ago, we was talking about this land over here next to Chevron? Was it ever sold to Danny Bakewell? Because it was on the agenda and then it came off the agenda because I think he was inquiring about the parcel of land next to Chevron's over there.
I thought it was already his property.
Well, anyway, I would like to know what happened to that land because I was told that it was sold to Danny Bakewell. So we need to get clarity on that. That parcel of land right here on Willowbrook in Compton, right where Chevron's is a vacant lot. So wasn't that part of our parcel of land? Anyway, Mr. Flournoy, I know you're on the planning, you're a planning manager. Why is it that us residents don't get a chance to know exactly what is being sold or public hearings? Because we don't ever get to know anything about the public hearings. You had said one time that you post stuff on the wall. Who in their right mind gonna drive up here and look on the wall to find out when there's a public hearing, when there's a podium right here, and you can announce to the resident, because I have a lot of stakes in this city as well. So I would like to know when you can, please come to this podium when there's going to be a public hearing on any piece of parcel in this city. And to give him authority over all our parcel, I think you guys need to think about that. Because it's just like you're giving it to him and he's going to do developments. We don't need no more developments. We need amenities. We need sit-down restaurants. We got too many fast foods running around here. No healthy choice of food to eat. We need to stop that. Give us what we want. You guys get what you want. You spend our money the way you want to. We may say no, you're going to say yes, and if you say yes, you're going to do it anyway. You do whatever you want to do. You don't listen to us. We're like a non-factor to you guys. But I will continue to speak my piece and let you guys know exactly how I feel, because I am entitled to that, whether it's right, wrong, or indifference. And I will not be dragged through the mud again.
The next speaker is Fidel.
Fidel Marquez, District 1. I'm also totally against this. And again, I'm going to keep preaching this. And Ms. Darden, the comment you made to Ms. Boone, we have a charter. This trumps everything. Everything. That's why we were granted authority to govern ourselves. I wish we would just have some people that will find a backbone and fight for this community. The state ain't gonna come in here and help us with parking problems, with infrastructure, with rotten sewer pipe. They're not coming. So don't allow them to come in here and dictate what we do here in our city. We need firemen. Are the state gonna provide firemen? No. We need policemen. Are they coming? No. They demand something, say no. Let them sue us. We got tons of lawyers on binder, hire one of them. We got Sonny. She's well aware. She fought the case. Ms. Darden, get with Sonny and tell her to school you on the laws of a charter city. She's very well aware of the law when it comes to charter cities. Please reach out to her. I will sit down with you and tell you the knowledge that I've studied myself on it. I'm here available all the time. Also, getting back to Mr. Spicer and this going back and forth, council members are supposed to go through, per charter, go through the city manager, not Trafina. You guys ain't supposed to address no employees. So why was he in contact and felt so comfortable to write Trafina a check? I read an article a couple of weeks ago about an employee. It didn't say a name, but it's pointing at Trafina. We're paying people to go on trips for conferences and all this other stuff on taxpayers' dime. Also stated Trafina's running a consulting business out of the city hall. Are you guys aware of it? Why is this employer still here? It makes the residents furious. When you look at the tax bill, and no one is following this law. The state wants to demand stuff. They don't even follow federal laws. That truck driver that killed all them people, they demand that the test be in English. The driver did it in his language, in Indian. So do you think the feds are...
The next speaker is Vanessa.
Yes, I would like to address some of the developments too. I understand we've read the laws that the state has implemented, but a charter city, and I do agree with the citizens, all that have spoke prior to me in reference to that. We do not have to comply. Let them sue us. Hell, we're burning anyway. Might as well crash and start over again. Because this does not make sense. If the citizens don't want it, we should not have it. And then we have we're talking about allowing this person that obtained city property, how she got it, I don't know. I think it was under Asia Brown, that fool, and Michelle Chambers. I believe that's how she acquired the property, because she shouldn't have never had it. The school district wanted to purchase it. They should have been allowed to purchase it. They should have been given first right of refusal, the city and the school board, not some outsider. It's just like the NHS office over there. There's nothing held there for citizens other than events that are not even relevant. We need things that are relevant that are held in that city pertaining to our taxes, pertaining to the development in the city. And when we bring in developers, what do? A sidewalk, Mr. Flournoy? Come on. They should have built every fence over in front of that development there. When they walk out of there, what do you see? Garbage. The facades down Compton Boulevard, they should be done. They haven't been done in years. The last time they were done is when Omar was in office. Hell, that's been 25 years. Compton Boulevard looks pathetic. It makes no sense. Rosecrans, the same thing. The mediums were put in there. They had palm trees, they had lights, they had all of that. And it was beautiful. But now look at it. It makes no sense. And I do agree it takes time, and I understand it's being done. But come on, there's many other things we can do instead of development. Our public safety is deplorable. We need public safety. We need fire people. We need code enforcement employees. We need all of that. These things are more important. These are the things we should do. And what Spicer did, that's the same thing Omar Bradley went to the penitentiary for. Look it up. And he didn't even use the tickets. He did. He used the car. And he even mentioned the car was torn, it was destroyed. You know, how stupid. So I hope the FBI is listening to this so they can just come on and snatch you off the dais, because that was absolutely...
Madam City Clerk, that's the end of the audience comments.
Now we move to new business. A resolution of the Board of Directors of the successor agency to the Community Development Department of the City of Compton, authorizing the Executive Director to declare certain properties located within the City of Compton surplus land pursuant to the Surplus Land Act Government Code Sections 54220 ET, SEQ.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Discussion. Madam City Clerk, roll call.
Councilmember Duhart,
Yes.
Councilmember Spicer,
Yes.
Councilmember Bowers.
Yes.
Councilmember Darton,
Yes,
Mayor Sharif.
Yes.
We move to,
To adjourn the meeting. I'm getting my stuff together.
So moved.
I'm picking up all my stuff. Wait a minute. I believe the council lady, Darden, may have a comment.
yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. Just for the record, so that our public understand, this is only declaring this is surplus land. There's no proposals for any development at this time. And one of, I believe it was, it had mentioned something about the charter, Fidel, that is. So I know at the churches we do Bible studies, so if we can, I'd like to schedule some charter review studies with the citizens who would want to participate.
Well, I need to put a charter committee.
Review studies with the council, as long as we are not violating the Brown Act, how many people can be in attendance, and then this way we can discuss and make sure that everybody is on the same page and understands. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Motion to adjourn?
we have the motion.
We have a motion on the floor already. Roll call, Madam City Clerk.
Councilmember Duhart,
Yes.
Councilmember Spicer,
Yes.
Councilmember Bowers.
Yes.
Councilmember Darton,
Yes.
Mayor Sharif.
Yes.
You adjourn at 6:56 PM.
Thank you. We just broke a record.
you.